Alrighty. Welcome everybody. We are live. We are on the air. This is Zenith Online Racing. We are on a break week. So normally we would have Tier 2 race tonight. What we do have for you is a little bit of classic car action. We got the 88 McLaren here at the Circuit Paul Ricard. And the theme behind this one, Doth Thou Hoist came up with these. So the theme behind this one was that the McLaren Honda was the dominant car the last time Paul Ricard was on the calendar before, obviously, the 2019 season. So that's why we're here. The 88 McLaren was the closest car we could get to 1990, which was the final year. There is the 90 McLaren, but it's only DLC for some guys, so we stuck with the 88 McLaren. So you see Lit Romney making his way around the track right now. He's sitting third right now. So a pretty tidy lap so far from Lit Romney. Obviously everybody kind of just finding their feet at the moment. It's going to be a pain in the ass following the mini-map in this one. My lord. Anyway, you can totally see like almost the entire body of Lit Romney in the car. So obviously something that changed over the years to make the cars a little more safe. But it's nice to see, get some good action here. The main reason we are here, though, is actually kind of just to provide you with a little bit of a review of the first portion of the Tier 2 season. So we're at the break week right now. We kind of hit the midway point of the season. One-shot qualifying is over, so Lit Romney ends up in 4th. So yeah, see him, that little shifter down on the bottom there. Not going to see, I don't think the drivers animate to move that though. But yeah, so we are here to review what's gone on in Tier 2 so far this season. We happen to have a solid amount of drivers out here tonight for you, just to give you some action in the background while you listen to me blabber on about everything that's happened so far this season. My God, I just saw Coxey's head. Whew! Whew! Yeah. You look like Mr. Clean. Sorry, I'm going to take the cheap shots while I'm on the air. No one's here to hold me back. Anyways, as I mentioned, we'll get to that review. So, as we make our way to the grid, to start the 25% race, I'm going to bring up some standings. We'll go over the standings first, and then we'll kind of go through what's gone on each race. So we have a chart there. I can go through everybody's results through the year, kind of see how the trends were going through the season for everybody. You know, we obviously know Aerostrike very much out in front in these standings. So I'm just going to check the stream real quick while we're on a break here. So I want to make sure everything's going okay. So I'm struggling with my Wi-Fi here, it seems. On my phone, it's just not working properly at the moment. So I can't really bring up the standings. Interesting. Just bear with me for a moment here. I need to fix this. Can't do what I need to do if I can't get my phone to bring up the stuff we need to talk about. Alright, now my cat thinks it's playtime again. Okay, here we go. Let the phones get it together. Alright. I'm going to reboot my phone because it seems like more of a phone issue than anything. And then what I'll do is just kind of focus on what's going on with the action on track at the moment until I can get this thing back up and running. And then I'll be able to actually do the review properly. Obviously, I have nothing in front of me at the moment, but we do know Arrow leading the championship margins. Something we can talk about quickly is we've got E-Money, who was Arrow's biggest challenger for the last season and a half, has departed Tier 2. He's moved on to Tier 1, so he's made his departure, decided to move on to Tier 1. Maybe pop T-Money an invite in a bit, see if he wants to come in here. And yeah, we'll get T-Money in here. We'll ask him a little bit of his thoughts about the move and why he decided to move, and what he's looking forward to about Tier 1 so far. So right now we got Terminal Deity and Coxie lining up on the grid. Formation lap has just ended. Everybody in that 88 McLaren, so it'll be a little hard to follow the map. I don't really know who's spun unless we just go visit them. Assuming some people are going to be spinning. But, we'll get to the front of the grid here. Try to get a nice broadcast shot. So we should get the lights any moment. Only 12, and they are off. Oh, and one guy just completely missed the start there, and a bunch of cars bump each other. So a few bumps there at the beginning. As you see them all with those massive rear wings hurtling down towards turn 1. And it looks like Jinnit has taken the lead early. Terminal Deity lost the place. Obviously, no point in really bringing up tire information because they're all pretty much the same. I did bring up position change. Electric Chicken is sitting in 4th, actually. He's gained 7 places on the start there. So Electric Chicken had a huge start. Probably benefited from those cars bumping each other on the one side of the grid there. And Chicken getting a little close to the Rolex boards there on the outside. And Andre Sousa's out. He has retired. I believe he's crashed the car. So Andre Sousa out early here. Alright. Phone is back online. There we go. Seems like it's working better now. Get that review going. Do we have a safety car or something? Everybody seems to be going pretty slow. I don't know. You guys just struggling there. Oh, we do have a safety car. Yeah, the safety car's out. Honestly, who left the safety car on in the 25% race? Feel a little bit unnecessary in my opinion. Oh well. It'll give me time to get the review started, I guess. Yeah, let's get this up. Seems like Discord's also being a pain in the ass today, too. Alright. So the standings as of now. T-Money obviously has departed, so the second place is now filled by Axton. So Aerostrike is 190 in first. Axton in second with 121. GP Collins in third with 95 points in that Ferrari. Scavney in the Mercedes has 86, so he just debuted this season. He's having a really solid season so far. Had a couple nice results as a reserve, brought those points into the championship with him, so he's already put himself into a really good spot in the title hunt. Obviously Arrow is leaps and bounds ahead of most of the other guys, but there's a pretty good race on for second and third. And then also pretty tight in the midfield as well. So, again, as I mentioned, a good race for second and third. Electric Chicken has 84 points in fifth. Pace Dogs has 48 points, so a big jump down to sixth place there. But Pace Dogs with 48, followed closely by Coxie with 46. Spears with 44, Terminal Deity with 38, and Hans with 27. Hans with a win a few weeks ago. Picked up a win in the race, and it was just a really solid drive from Hans there. So I hadn't really scored many points. He had a lot of DNFs earlier in the year, but good result for Hans there. He brings himself into the middle of the championship table there with 27 points. It's Eric, 26 points in that Haas. Burns with 22 points in the Racing Point. Lit Romney in the other Haas with 18. Wolfsburg's in 14th with 15 points in the other Toro Rosso. Bobby Teva in the McLaren is in 15th with 10 points. Dove 49ers, 5 points in the Racing Point. Niebuhr in the other Mercedes with 5 points. JXW with 3, Mario with 0, and Soy with 0. He's just joined. He replaced T-Money, Soy Loco. Old Tier 1 driver. He left for a season. Now he's back. Soy Loco now in Tier 2. And he's paired up with Axton, hoping he can help that Red Bull team secure the Constructors title as they are on top. So it's Red Bull in first with 232 points, obviously helped majorly by T-Money scoring with 205. Not very far behind, carried mainly by Aerostrike with some help from Wolfsburg. And they're at 205 in second place. Ferrari has 143 points. That's GP Colin and Pace Dogs teamed up. 143, third place. Renault in fourth with 130 points. That's Electric Chicken and Coxie, 96. Fan favorites. Coxie, unfortunately, has lost his hair. Obviously, not helping him very much out on the track. He's sitting in 10th, so probably caught up in some of the melee that caused the safety car. JFD very far behind. Works his way back to the pack. Let's look at JFD. Very Senna-esque helmet as well. Mercedes is in 5th with 90. Williams is in 6th with 65. Haas in 7th with 44 points. Alfa Romeo with 39. Racing Point with 27. And McLaren with 10. So the next race there in Tier 2 is Bahrain. That will be next Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. As always, I will be here to broadcast that for you. Not sure who will be with me. Possibly Fuzz. Possibly another driver. We just have a couple people hanging around that are willing to do it, so surely someone will jump in. Okay, so let's go through a little bit of the race results. I see how the season played out. So Aerostrike obviously dominating the championship. He won the first 3 races of the season. So T-Money, I think his results have been removed from this chart, so I won't be able to talk about what T-Money did through the year. But I know T-Money was right up there with Axton. Points-wise, so by process of elimination, you can probably figure out who the other people on the podium were most weeks. A few times it was Scabney, though. So Aerostrike, yeah, as we mentioned, he won the first 3 races of the season. He finished second in Monaco. I believe Axton won Monaco. Yes, he did. And China, Aero won that. Axton came second. So kind of trading blows there for a few weeks in the mid-season portion. The top 2 contenders in the title hunt there. GP Collins' best result of the season so far is a second place. He picked up in Abu Dhabi and then matched that last week in Mexico. He's sitting 3rd in the title hunt. So Scabney also joined late. His first race was Hungary. He finished 5th. And then picked up the podium in Monaco. So he was already off to a pretty good start with his career here. And then strung together a couple good finishes. 6th, 4th, 3rd, 8th, 2nd, and 8th, all the way up to Mexico last week. So really good run there for Scabney. Very consistent, always scoring points. Speaking of consistent, Electric Chicken always does well in quali. He's 5th right now in the title hunt. And he is currently... he's 5th in the title hunt, and scored pretty consistently for the first 6 races of the season. He had a 7th, a 4th, a 5th, a 6th, a 4th, and a 9th. Had a rough go in Abu Dhabi, finished 12th there. and then picked up a 7th in Spain. Got on the podium in Spa, so big moment there for Chicken. And then he picked up a 4th last week in Mexico. So the tide turning for Chicken a little bit after that 12th place finish. One thing to note is that he has finished every single race. So has Scavney. And then Axton has missed a few, but has finished everything he's been in. Same with Arrow. Arrow's missed one. GP Cullen has DNF'd once. That was in Monza. I think he might have done that in both races, actually. I think he reserved in that race and actually DNF'd then as well for Tier 1. So, maybe not his favorite track. He was driving that Ferrari, though, so pretty disappointing for the Tifosi there. Pace Dogs in 6th place in the title hunt. He picked up a podium to start the season, so looked strong off the bat, but I struggled to put together enough good results to really crack into that top 3 in the title hunt. Oh, he's missed a lot of races, so that probably has a lot to do with it. He's got a 4th place finish. So every race he's been in, he's finished 3rd, 4th, 5th, 10th, and 5th. That's pretty good. Actually, 1 DNF, sorry. And then a few DNS, so didn't even make a few races. I think 3 he's missed. 4. So, not bad, actually. Sitting in 6th in the title hunt after missing 4 races, I'd be pretty content with that, I think. Coxey in 7th. Obviously had a very rough year. We know he's DNF'd quite a bit. But he's got a 4th place in Britain. And then struggled for quite some time. Finished 5th in Spain, 6th in Spa, so his trend moving the right direction there before he finally picked up a podium last week in Mexico, and that would have been his first podium with Zenith Online Racing. He was pretty hyped about that. He was so excited he shaved his head. Bald. Down to the skin. He has no hair anymore. Alright. And then next is Spears. Joined us late as well, was a reserve, but has some good results to give himself a pretty decent spot in the standings. He's got a podium. That was in Japan. And he got a 4th place finish in Abu Dhabi and a 6th place finish in Spain. And he's missed a couple of races. He actually went to Australia for the Grand Prix there. And obviously ended up being cancelled at the last minute due to the COVID-19 outbreak. So very disappointing for Spears, and didn't even get to see a race. Feel for him. Hopefully he has a good result next time out. Terminal Dady. He's had a pretty good run actually this year, sitting 9th. He's had a 5th place finish, 3 9th place finishes in a row. So Hungary, Italy, and Monaco he got 9th. Then he got 7th 3 races in a row in China, Japan, and Abu Dhabi. Seems to be a bit of a trend here. Then a 15th, an 8th, and a 13th. So, yeah, a bit of a rough go for Terminal Dady here towards the recent part of the season. Not as consistent, but doing pretty well to score every week. He seems to be hovering around the points every race. We've got Hans, who probably has the most ridiculous spread on the chart so far, I must say. So let's read this off. Hans in 10th in the title hunt. DNF 12th. DNS did not start. 14th. DNF 9th. First, wins a race in fucking Spa, wins Spa, and then doesn't start the next race in Mexico. That has to be the most polarizing, chart I've read today. Wow. Well, good on you for winning a race, Hans. That was pretty impressive. Hits Eric. Has a couple good finishes as well. He seems to be doing quite well lately. I've noticed lately he's been scrapping in the points quite a bit. It looks like we have a bit of a moment here in the pits. Serving a penalty perhaps. Changing a wing as well. That's JFD. So, also missing a lot of action here doing a review. Following the guy in last. Sorry about that. There we go. That's better. Yeah, so it's Eric doing well. 7th He's got a DNF 7th, DNF 7th, 5th, 10th, 11th, 14th, 10th, and 9th. So, quite a few points finishes in there. A couple rough ones and a couple DNFs, but overall not too bad. First season here. Burns, in his second season here, he's got a 6th place finish to start the year. That's a good start. And he had a DNF, missed a race, and then 8th place finish. So, a couple points there. Then he's had a really rough run in the middle part of the season there, and ended up snagging a 5th at Spa, and that's been his best result since the 8th place finish. Burns' best result of the season actually came at Spa too. Britt Romney scored points in 4 races so far. He's been close in a couple other ones, and then he's also DNF'd in a couple as well. Wolfsburg, he scored points in quite a few races as well. 8th place to start the season, had a DNF in the second race, 10th in the third race, DNF in the 4th, 9th in the 5th race, 11th in Japan, 6th in the 7th race, Abu Dhabi. So that's his best result of the season. Maybe his best result with us so far as well. I can't remember what he scored last year, but I know he was usually only getting a point or two when he did get in the points, so might be his best result there at 6th place. Bobby, he's had a pretty rough season. He's had a lot of DNFs, he's missed a few races as well, but he has gotten to the points and he's shown pace at some of the other tracks as well, so we know Bobby's capable. He's unfortunately had a rough go this year. Only got points in 2 races. That is Monaco, he finished 8th, and Mexico, he finished 7th. Then we've got Dove. Got a big gap there now. Just gonna move on to this one. Got Sam and Chicken now. See how they do. Dove 49ers has points in 2 races. And is Italy, he finished 8th, and he got 1 point in Abu Dhabi, he finished 10th. Niebuhr in 17th, he has points in 3 races. He got a 10th in Monaco, he got a 9th in Abu Dhabi, and he got a 9th at Spa. He's missed a few races as well. He's been close in a couple others. GXW, he has points in 2 races. That is 9th in Britain in his debut, the season debut for Tier 2, and 10th in China, which was the 5th race of the year. So, a couple other, he's finished actually 4 DNFs, so it's pretty rough. And a few other bad results. So definitely needs to work on his consistency. Definitely his pace when have seen him out there. He's definitely got pace to fight. So we just get the consistency down. He'll probably score points regularly. So we've also got Mario, who has transferred into Tier 2 this year. He used to be a Tier 1 driver. So left Tier 1, transferred into Tier 2. He's got a wheel this year, and he's learning as he goes here. So he's had a pretty rough season so far. He's got a bunch of DNFs, an 11th place finish, which must have been crushing to be that close to the points and not get it. But he's scored well in the EU tier so far. So Mario, I think, definitely getting there. Probably just needs to get a result on the board in Tier 2, really. It's not like he's not capable. He's been doing it in EU the last couple of weeks. See that backfire from the McLaren electric chicken ahead there. The JFD just really struggling out there. He's way off the pace at the moment. Yeah, he's retired, okay. So, he's crashed the car. Just couldn't get the setup right. Not sure what happened there. Oh, safety car again. Are you kidding me? Yeah, they're turning the safety car off for the next race, that's for sure. What a joke. That sucks. Jenna had a massive lead there too, 10-second lead almost. So yeah, then Soy Loco sitting at the bottom of the championship. Obviously just got here last week. His 14th last week in Mexico. Definitely needs to get a better result on the board. I think he's capable though. He's been fighting in there, and he'll definitely get there soon. So it'll be a matter of time before he starts adding to that Red Bull Constructors title. Alright. I was gonna take a little break and focus on the race action for the end of the race here, but obviously now we're probably gonna be finishing under the safety car, so... Yeah. So much for that plan. So, I guess we can kind of talk about what I'm expecting to see for the rest of the season. Obviously, the departure of T-Money leaves a really big hole at the top. T-Money, Accident, and Arrow pretty much consistently on the podium weekly. So now what that does, it leaves a big hole there and a big opportunity for a lot of these drivers. Guys like GP Colin, Electric Chicken, Coxie, Scavney, as we have seen so far this year, doing quite well. Spears as well, another guy potentially fighting for podium now. So a lot of guys capable of getting to that podium position, I think, and I think that's going to spice up the end of the season for that midfield battle. Arrow pretty much will lock this up, I think. It will only be a matter of time before he does. He's got quite a lead over Axton. Axton and Arrow generally probably providing the challenge for the race win week to week with each other, and then other guys might be there week to week. There might be a few guys capable of getting within range to fight for a win with those two week to week, but I don't know about every single week. It seems like those two every single week have the opportunity to win the race, no matter where we are. Other guys seem to be really good at certain tracks, and they just kind of show up sometimes. We're like, oh, where did he come from? Well, safety car in this lap, that's good news. At least we're not going to waste too much time under the car. Yeah, so we'll call a little bit of the action here. Now that we're going to actually have some nice gaps to watch towards the end. It's the benefit of the safety car, but ultimately a little bit ridiculous that it's even on for these shorter races. So we'll turn that off for the next one, I think. There's no point having it on. Let's see if Jennett can keep this lead. He's got GP and Terminal pressuring behind. Electric Chicken very close as well. So let's get to the broadcast view. See if we can get a good view. Looks like Jennett's starting here. Left a huge gap there, so he was able to just kind of go whenever he felt it was right. It's a good move there from Jennett. Terminal Davey trying to hang out of the back of GP Colin here. Not going to be close enough. Let's get to Coxie. He's very close to the back of Sam here, so this is going to be our closest action, I think, for the next little bit. Let's ride with this battle. Coxie taking a peek, but not close enough. Coxie and Sam duking it out. Bobby Tava sitting at the back looking for a piece of the action as well. Let's get the YouTube stream up. That's not something I've done yet. Let's take a look at the comments so far. See what people are saying. Oh, that's the Tier 1 review. There we go. Didi coming in hot. Well, that was 20 minutes ago. Alright. Coxie coming in hot. Here he comes. That aerodynamic haircut. Shaved at least a few tenths off with the minimal drag. Sam around the outside on Chicken here. Gives him a little bump. Can Sam finish the move? He's on the inside line now. Chicken looking for that switchback, though. He's going to have much better traction down the straight here. What can Chicken do to fight this back? Looks like Chicken going to have a very good run here. Looks like all four of these cars have a shot here on the final lap. So Chicken towing along Coxie and Bobby as well. Chicken looking for a line, but I think Sam's got him covered. Terminal Dady is closing on GP Colin. He is coming in hot now. See what he can do on this final lap. That shoulder cam looks nice in this car. Can't see a lot with the halo anymore, but that's a great shot. Electric Chicken. He's pressuring Sam here. I think he's going to lose out, though. They both run very wide, but is this going to give Coxie a run? Coxie's got a chance here on Chicken. Well, he just picked up a penalty, so that's going to hurt him. Not sure about other penalties. I haven't been paying attention the entire race, so I don't know what else is out there, but Coxie going to be suffering from that for sure. Oh, big bump there. What happened? Electric Chicken looking... Oh, who was that? Was it Chicken? Oh, there goes Ryan. Ryan has lost the car. Huge crash from Ryan there. I think it was Chicken. I'm not too sure, though. I think Chicken just kind of came back on the track and slammed into the side of Sam there. Maybe it was the other way around. I don't know, to be honest with you. But we'll get back to the front here. Bobby closing on Coxie. I don't think he's going to be close enough to get him by the end, though. There's only a few turns left. I think that's going to be how it finishes. Bobby will get Coxie on penalty, most likely. Oh, Coxie looking for a way through on Sam here. Very close. And that'll be it, I think. Yeah, Coxie's going to lose some places, probably. Terminal Dady jumps ahead. Sorry, Terminal Dady was ahead. So Coxie loses out. Bobby doesn't gain on him either, so Bobby must have had a penalty himself. We'll let Romney over 6 seconds behind. There's Electric Chicken. Put on a show for the fans. Making sure he gets that car home. He still finishes ahead of Ryan in reverse. Oh, big crash. Oh well, it's good fun. Would never want that to happen in those cars for real, though. Whew. Holy shit. Yeah, Coxie, that's fucking savage, man. You don't even... I don't know. I guess your head's kind of the right shape for baldness? I don't know. I don't know if that's a compliment or not. I don't really know what to say. But, good timing with your with dropping the bald photo in the chat, because it's been all I've been able to talk about, really. Racking my brain for all these other memories to discuss in Tier 2. All I can think about is your bald face. So, congratulations, you've won my attention for at least this night. Let's see. So I guess what we're doing next, since Doth is listening in according to Doth, he set up the Renault. This is sort of the passing of the baton, so to speak, between Renault and Ferrari. It was the anniversary of Fernando Alonso passing Michael Schumacher on the outside of 130R. So that was a little bit of the inspiration behind why we decided to go with the 06 Renault here in Japan for the next race. I think that's going to be a lot more fun, probably, than this 88 McLaren France race. Definitely nice to see the 88 McLaren car. It's nice to watch, but I think the 06 Renault will provide a little bit more actual racing here. Some pretty good scraps in the field nonetheless, though. So Ryan just fixing those settings. I'm going to take a break for a quick moment, and then I'll come back and we'll carry on with a bit of Tier 2 review. Kind of just discuss what I think I would like to see for the remainder of the season. What kind of results I'm expecting to see from some of these guys, and maybe some surprises towards the end of the season as well. We might see a few guys shock everybody. Maybe get a sneaky podium that no one would have seen coming. But yeah, I'll be back in a moment. Alright, we're back. We got a few extra guys jumping in here. So we're up to 14 cars now. We are moving on to Japan. This is the Renault 2006. Yeah, we're just getting started again. So we will continue on with our Tier 2 review. Take a look at the calendar coming up. See what the next few races we have coming up in Zenith Online Racing. What we've got in store for you, the fans. By the fans, I mean the drivers that tune in every week. I think we have like 3 other fans that just showed up randomly. I don't know how they found us, but hey. Glad to have you. Hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure you turn on notifications. You'll know every time we go online for the Zenith Online Racing events, whether they are exhibitions or the league races. So league races run Mondays, Thursdays, and Sundays. 8 p.m. on Mondays and Mondays and Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern. That's Tier 1 on Monday, Tier 2 on Thursday. And then we have, let's ride with Zenith here. Man, that Renault looks nice. What a beautiful car. Looking really solid in this first sector as well. And then Sunday evenings, that's 10 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So in the UK, 10 p.m. It's about 6 p.m. Eastern here, but I believe that changes this weekend or very soon. And it'll be back to 5 p.m. Eastern on Sunday evenings. That'll be the EU tier. So that's our newest tier. They're a few races behind. They are actually running a race on Sunday. It does count. It's part of the championship. Their race counts this week because they started later. And that's the British Grand Prix. So, yeah, EU tier running the British Grand Prix Sunday evening. We'll keep you posted on the update for the time. But yeah, regardless, 10 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. We kind of work with their time zone and just adjust for ours. So, hopefully we'll see you then. I'd probably be around for comms. Maybe we'll get Harry Hotspur back on the commentary again. He did really well last week with Bobby, so could have those guys step in again on Sunday. See what's going on. I'm not too sure what we got in store Saturday. We've done a couple 100% races the last few Saturdays. Something everybody seems to enjoy quite a bit, and I've actually enjoyed commentating on myself quite a bit. So I'm open to doing another one this weekend, possibly. If people are listening and they're interested, they can let us know in the Discord, and maybe we'll set up another one. But we don't want to oversaturate it too. We don't want to do it too often. It kind of gets boring. But I mean, really, there's nothing better to do right now. So why not spend a Saturday afternoon racing? Really. So a lot of guys disqualified here. Easy to cut corners in Japan. But so we got Chicken on pole. So good lap from Chicken there. Really fast, actually. 7/10 up on Ryan. Ryan in second. Coxie in third. Scabby in fourth. Lit Romney in fifth. And Andre Sousa in sixth. So those times by Lit Romney and Andre Sousa, not great, but they're legal. So they're ahead of almost everybody because of that. Very important to not invalidate your lap in quality, especially one-shot quality. If you're wondering why, it's because you only got one shot. Pretty fucking obvious. So, I don't know, I think I was born to talk to myself or something. It's really easy for me. Anyway, we'll get back to the calendar. So, as we mentioned, this weekend is Britain in the EU tier. And for the rest of the league, starting Monday, we are going to be in Bahrain. So, we'll have the Bahrain Grand Prix Monday, March 30th. That will be Tier 1, 8 p.m. Eastern. So, we're back, and we continue through to the end of the season. No breaks, right to the 8th of June. And God willing, we actually have lives by then. I really hope so. But if not, maybe we'll have a huge audience too. So here we go with the formation lap. Looks like Coxie just taking off. Not wasting any time. Wants to get his tires warmed up on his own terms. And then the next race is for Tier 2. Jump to the Tier 2 calendar quickly. It's Bahrain, obviously, as well, so everybody runs the same race every week. But April 2nd for Bahrain in Tier 2. And that'll be followed by Canada, Singapore, USA, then Germany, Baku, Australia, France, Austria, Russia, and then finally Brazil to round out the season. We kind of picked that one on purpose. That wasn't random. So that would be kind of like nice. It always used to be the end, you know? Yeah, so that's the calendar through the rest of the year. Honestly, I can't really recall anybody being particularly strong at any of those tracks. If I had to wager, I guess I'd say Arrow's pretty strong at all of them. I'd be willing to bet money on that, probably. If anybody's willing to take that, so I can put the odds in the Discord. But yeah, obviously, I don't really know. I mean, we've got a lot of new drivers, and a lot of these, like I do know a lot of these guys from last season, what they're capable of, and like guys like GP Colin, You know, guys like pace dogs, they're capable of winning races. They don't necessarily always get the results that they deserve, but their pace is always there, I find. And I think they're perfectly capable of putting in a couple challenges towards the end of the season. So I think maybe we see pace dogs win a race by the end of the year. That's my bold prediction for Tier 2 moving towards the end of the season. Pace dogs wins a race. Another bold prediction. Double podium for the Renaults. I think Coxie and Chicken at some point will both end up on the podium. It's going to be tough with Axe and Arrow there, probably, but I think it's possible. So I don't know how bold that one is, really, but I think it's a fairly bold prediction. Both at the same time. I mean, one of them here and there, it's, yeah, definitely capable. But. And the lights are out, they're off. Here we go, the 06 Renault. Chicken gets an electric start there. Very aptly. And into turn 1 has the lead. Coxie closes in behind, so Ryan lost a couple places there. Sorry, just one place, but Ryan down to third, and Coxie gains a spot. So looks like it's Eric up 3 spots. That's a pretty good start. Just jumped in for this race only. And yeah, Chicken out to a really good start here. Let's see what Ryan and Coxie can do. Can they keep up? Oh, looks like Ryan there a little bit on the grass, and then Coxie maybe as well. So, oh, Dirk getting kicked up here on the first lap. Very close behind there. It looks like Bobby and Lit Romney. Is Bobby going to send it here? He's down the outside. Oh, Lit Romney. Oh, and Bobby spun it. Oh, and a huge crash. Oh, my. Bobby and Terminal Deity, I think, made contact. Is it Terminal Deity? It is, yeah. Terminal Deity came around that corner blind and just smoked Bobby. Really unfortunate. I think Lit Romney moved into Bobby's space. Bobby moved onto the grass to avoid Lit Romney and ended up spinning the car into the corner because of that. So, really, Bobby sent down to the back of the grid by Lit Romney's move there. I'm not sure Bobby maybe overreacted a bit. Entirely possible. It was hard to tell live. They're side by side here. And Bobby's down to last. JFD passes Bobby through 130R. Bold. Just what we wanted. Whoa, the car is spun. That is Coxie. Coxie getting himself turned around. Is he going to be able to go into the pits here? No, he can't. Well, maybe he doesn't need to. But it's Eric. Oh, yeah, he is going to the pits. It's Eric is in the pits as well. So maybe contact between those two drivers. Not too sure. Interesting to see. Everybody driving the same car, yet they all have their own pit crew. Interesting. Why can't they do that in unranked? What the hell is that about? Yeah, I think we could see some pretty interesting races towards the end of the season now, especially with T-Money out of the picture. I think it's going to open up the door for a lot of these guys to put in some really solid results. They've been knocking at the door and really impressing so far in Tier 2 this year, and I think they're on pace to maybe start making a name for themselves in the chat as well, because they usually get on the interviews if you're in the podium in Tier 2, so definitely something to fight for. And Burns goes deep there, and I think GP Colin gets through easy. Yeah, no problem there for GP, he's through. And Burns now under threat from JFD, so JFD getting the hang of this Renault early in the race, and he's starting to work through the field a little bit here. Electric Chicken at the fastest lap, 132.5. Sorry, 132.2, I think that's it. It's out front by 1.3 now. Now Burns is being pressured by JFD still. Kind of close to GP, but not close enough. And JFD, he sends it. And JFD gets the move done. So JFD on a little bit of a charge here early in this race. Doing well to make his way through the pack here. He's into turn 1, sent it down the inside and got that move to stick. Who else could have good results in Tier 2? I mean, Soy Loco, really. I mean, he's come back, and Soy Loco, um, one of those drivers, like, sort of, he fits in that category I mentioned earlier where, at least from what I remember, that he would be really, really good at some tracks, and then other tracks just nowhere. So Soy Loco is definitely capable of putting up some good results here in the second half of the season. Can definitely see him on the podium a few times before the season's said and done. Not too sure what his pace is like at these tracks. I can't really remember from season 1, but I definitely know that some tracks he was pretty quick at. So see what he can do here. JFD really on a tear here. Starting to close towards GP Colin now. Ryan has got the gap to Electric Chicken under a second. Checking with that, see what Ryan can do here. I'm on board with Ryan. Yeah, I don't know. As far as predictions go, I'm not really too sure if I can make many more predictions about race winners and etc. But standings-wise, I think I think Coxie and Chicken probably finish closer to each other than they are now, about 40 points apart. But I think it'll be closer to the end of the season. As far as constructors go, I think Red Bull's going to win the constructors. Soy Loco will help Axton enough to win the constructors there. I think Soya will end up scoring more than Wolfsburg before the end of the season. But I think it will be kind of similar, the dichotomy between the teammates there. Like, Axton will be pushing for wins while Soy Loco's just sort of putting points on the board. I think that'll be kind of what we see for the next little bit at least. Ferrari, 143 points, so they're a little bit behind Toro Rosso, and they got GP Colin and Pace Dogs, so both very formidable drivers. I think this might be pretty bold, but I'm going to say Ferrari finishes ahead of Toro Rosso as well. I think GP Colin and Pace Dogs outscore Wolfsburg and Arrow by the end of the season as a team. Renault, I mean, hell, even Renault could do it. I mean, Coxie and Chicken could both be putting up points consistently over the next 10 races, and we could see it. You could see Renault overtake Toro Rosso as well. But gotta remember, Arrow is probably going to be racking up at least 15 to 25 points a week, so that number will continue to grow. We'll see. I think that's it, though. Really, like, the farthest Toro Rosso can slip is 4th, because I don't know that Mercedes with Niebuhr and Scavney are going to do enough to close in. The Williams team has a shot. Terminal 80 is pretty consistent. He's scoring a lot of points. While Hans seems to have the pace to be able to fight for podiums, but just can't seem to keep it on the track. But if Hans can keep it on the track, and Terminal 80 keeps scoring like he does, the Williams could be a pretty formidable team by the end of the year. You could see them overtake Mercedes easily. You could see them even get ahead of one of the Renaults or Ferrari team as well, depending on how they do. Yeah, we'll see what happens there. It'll be interesting for sure. The Alfa Romeo team is Spears and JXW. That's a pretty decent team as well. I could see them doing well by the end of the year. And the Haas with it's Eric and Whit Romney. Doing pretty well with 44 points at 7th right now. It's Eric scoring pretty consistently and Whit Romney getting pretty consistent points as well. So it'll be interesting to see how those two can do by the end of the year. I think they're going to be under threat. I feel like it's going to be a pretty dicey scrap between the Haas, the Alpha, and the Racing Point team there. And the McLarens are really on the back foot at the moment. Bobby, definitely capable of scoring good chunks of points, and Mario as well, as we've seen in EU. So McLaren, I think, is not going to finish 10th, but currently they are 10th. So we'll see what happens there. Still got Ryan trying to hunt down Electric Chicken here. He's been hovering between 6th and 8 tenths. Just can't really seem to close it much more. But looks like he's got a pretty good haul down the straight here into 130R. He's really closing. Will he have a look into the chicane? I don't think he's close enough for that. Chicken covers it off regardless, and that's going to compromise his run. And Ryan goes deep onto the grass. Big mistake from Ryan there. That's going to cost him a lot of time. Really had that gap whittled down, and now he's really thrown it away. Here comes Zenith right on the tail of Scabney into the chicane, and Zenith's going to have a really good run here. Almost alongside Scabney as it is, and they still got the whole straight to go. Scabney really looking to cover that off. Zenith's going to have to work for this. Scabney has a pretty slippery setup, it seems. Oh, and they make contact. Zenith sends Scabney very deep there. Looks like they got through okay, though. Neither driver disrupted terribly by that. Maybe Zenith gets away with no damage there. But Romney closing on the back of GP Colin. Not close enough either. GP touching the grass a little bit there. It's not going to help. See what Romney can do here. Helmet looks pretty fresh in that runoff. Oh, big moment there for Lit, and GP gets away. I think he'll be safe for a few laps now. So Zenith looking to find a way through on Scabney once more. Yeah, we pretty much gone over the main talking points, I think, for Tier 2. Not sure there's much else to discuss, really. See if T-Money is hanging around. I'll shoot him an invite, see if he wants to come in here and kind of talk about his move from Tier 2 to Tier 1, what he thinks about that. What it really means to T-Money. I mean, it's he's leaving Tier 2, and so he's playing 2K at the moment, but maybe he'll pop in just to give us a little bit of his thoughts. But yeah, T-Money moves on to Tier 1, and I think that'll be really interesting for T-Money because he's capable of winning races in Tier 1, but he's also was quite dominant at times in Tier 2. So I think that what you're going to see is... Oh, do you mind turning your stream down a little bit?
Yeah, my fault.
No worries. But yeah, I think you're here now. I'll just talk to you instead of like third party you. But yeah, I mean, you're capable of winning races in Tier 1 now as well. So I think that puts about 6 drivers that are threats to win races every single week in Tier 1, like, consistently. Like, whereas Tier 2 had you 3 pretty much threatening for wins more than likely every single week. The odd guy popped in once in a while to give you guys some trouble, right? But I think ultimately you're going to have a lot more competition in Tier 1. Like, you're going to have to fight a lot harder. Especially, like, you know, you have those moments where you get knocked down to, like, 10th place or something, and you have to fight your way back through. It's going to be a lot tougher sledding, getting your way back up to the podium positions in Tier 1, right? So, just kind of just wanted to bring you in. We're getting towards the end of the second race here, and I've kind of gone over everything that's happened in Tier 2 and everything I think might happen towards the end of the season. And I figured we'll bring T-Money in. He's plenty of experience in Tier 2, and he's left now for Tier 1, and just figured I'd get your thoughts on what you expect for yourself for the rest of the season in Tier 1.
I mean, I definitely hope that I can, you know, keep on the winning streak, and maybe, I mean, I don't want to be too optimistic, but I would hope that I could, you know, for sure be in the top 7 at least by the end of the year.
Yeah.
I know I've missed, I mean, I've already missed, what, 8 races?
Yeah, there's quite a few already.
So, I mean, I know I've already missed, you know, a lot of races, and, you know, I don't expect to be at the top, but, you know, I would still think that I can get wins, so that's pretty much what I'm looking for. But,
yeah, and from my understanding, you were saying Mexico is one of your best tracks as well, right? So it's probably like, if you're winning races, a few more races this year, it's probably not going to be nearly as dominant as Mexico was. I think you pretty much won Mexico.
Yeah, Mexico, like, it's a good track for me, but my favorite 3 tracks are Spain, Baku, and Bahrain. Unfortunately, Spain is already done and over with, but
yeah.
But I know, like I said, I really do like Bahrain and Baku. For whatever reason, I have good pace at Baku, and Bahrain. It's fun racing under the lights. You don't have too many of those races throughout the year, so
No,
that's why.
I really like Bahrain actually. It's one of my favorite tracks. I've been not particularly quick there in this game, but I really like it. The first league race we ever did at Bahrain, I actually almost won the race. Actually, Sam won it. It was me and Sam were fighting for the win for like 10 or 12 laps at the end. It was crazy. That was in F1 2018. This year, I just in this 2019 game, I just never really seemed to like get it like as good. Like I was never as good at Bahrain, but it's definitely a good track for me. I enjoy it, so I think it'll be a pretty fun race on Monday for sure. I'm looking forward to getting back to actual like meaningful races because I don't know. There's just not much else going on in the world right now at all, really. So taking a
That's very
break week
true.
was kind of like, it's like, should we, shouldn't we? But I think it was needed.
Yeah, I mean
Honestly,
it's
it's just,
scheduled. You know, it's
yeah, it
kind
was
of hard
scheduled.
now.
Yeah. And I just felt like, I don't know, I just felt like oversaturated with racing lately, you know? Like, I did a lot of racing, I did a lot of commentary and stuff lately as well, a lot of
Yeah,
broadcasts, and I was thinking, like, I don't know, it'd be kind of nice to just have a week where nothing really matters, I don't have to, like, really pay attention to anything.
yeah,
But, yeah. Anyway, I don't think it'll be really interesting. It's gonna open up tier 2 a little bit, too, now, actually, but,
it will.
yeah.
There's you know, to me, you know, the midfield is very. I think the midfield is extremely close in tier two. You have
Yeah,
a
it
lot of
is.
people that are, you know, like they're always in contention. You know, they may be fourth through, you know, seventh in most of these races, and now,
Yeah.
you know, you can expect those some of those people, you know, obviously be, you know, second, third, you know, maybe even sneak a win,
Yeah.
a shot.
That's
But
what I was thinking, for sure. Yeah, just discussing guys like chicken even really like chicken
yeah,
could sneak a win in there. Scavney could sneak a win in. A few guys are definitely capable actually. Like there's
yeah.
it's definitely
I
possible.
think I think Coxie's another one. I think he can get a win in there.
Yeah, that was one of my bold. Well, that wasn't one of my bold predictions, but one of my bold predictions for the second half of the season was that we'd get a double Renault podium before the season's done. So we'll see Coxie and Chicken both on the podium together.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would, I could definitely see that happening. It's, like I said, you know, the midfield is so, you know, so close now that, you know, it's hard to just pick one, you know, one clear-cut favorite, but,
Yeah, yeah, I agree. It'd be nice to see if we could find a challenger for Arrow and Axton. Because it was pretty fun. Like, there was always like the three of you guys sort of duking it out every week, like,
yeah,
pretty consistently. So it was like sort of like, I don't know, sort of like predictable in a way, but not like boring.
yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah, you'd still have, you know, you could still have some pretty good battles between the three of us, but, you know, it's, like compared to you know, compared to tier one, you know, obviously there's a bit more, you know, variety now. Like you
yeah.
just like there's more people that have the opportunity to win, but like I said, in any given race though, it's all about strategy, especially with these you know, with the way the safety cars come out now, and
Yeah.
doesn't sometimes all it takes is one or two safety cars, and you know, you could be in the hunt for a win.
Oh, big moment from Chicken there, and Ryan sneaks through. They're side by side now. Let's see what happens here to turn one. They're still side by side. Here they go. Wheel to wheel. Chicken looking for some room on the inside. Oh, and they touch, and Chicken wobbles. So Ryan maintains the position after a little bit of contact there with Chicken. And Jinnit now closing. Sorry, Jinnit's nowhere near these guys. It's Scavney closing on Jinnit. But I think Jinnit actually is building that gap. He was fighting with him before. But we got Andre Sousa now pressuring GP Colin. Chicken picks up a penalty as well, so he's pretty much out of contention for the race win now. Especially on the last lap here. I think he's probably pretty frustrated with that contact in the turn there. I really don't know if it was his fault or Ryan's fault or not, but gotta be a little frustrating. But yeah, it's been a pretty good season so far in Tier 2 for sure. I think the midfield, like you said, is very interesting. There's been a lot of good races, I think, at the fronts as well. Like Arrow dominating in the points, but he hasn't really, like, it's not like he's been like running away with every single race. There's been a lot of good races though, so.
Yeah. And now, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if because I heard he ran the Mexico race without the line on.
Yeah. Oh, who's that? Oh, it looks like Scavney. Scavney lost the car on the last lap. That is frustrating for him. I think he was sitting in 4th, wasn't he? Yeah, he was. So Sousa under pressure now from JFD on the final lap. Is JFD going to send it into the chicane? No, he's not close enough. Oh, he might send it. He cuts the corner here. Figures it's worth it. If he only got a warning for that, it was probably worth it. Because he did hit the place. And I think JFD gets the place. Yeah, he does. I mean, he would have got it on penalties anyway, it looks like. But, yeah, good move from JFD there, I guess. I don't really know if I should condone it, but... yeah, whatever. Fucking exhibition race anyway. Alright, what time is it? It's 9:16. I guess we've been on the air long enough. There's not that much else stuff to talk about, really. Yeah. I think we'll just wrap it up at the end here once everybody gets across the line. Call it a night. Oh, what the hell? Coxie sent it off. From Sterling Day. Is he going to crash into Coxie? He might. He does. Good shit. Oh, and here comes Sam. Is he going to crash too? He might. Oh, no. What a square. He just drives through. Alright. That's the end of the race. That was that one was a little bit better than the other one, I think.
Yeah, definitely more action without the 2 safety cars.
Yeah. That was pretty boring, I have to say. I completely lost interest after the first safety car came out in the first race. I was like, ah, fuck. And then I like forgot I left it on JFD for a while and was like just looking at my phone, reading off like stats and shit. So my bad on that. But yeah. Anyways, a couple interesting races. Obviously, mainly the main reason we were here to just kind of do a little bit of a mid-season break review. Let's discuss everything that's gone on this year so far in Tier 2. What I want to see before we go is I want to see a Mario top 5 finish before the season is done. Top 5 finish for Mario before the season ends. That would be a delightful day. But yeah, looking forward to the second half of the season. Obviously, I will be there as much as I can for the commentary. Most weeks I think I can make it. I don't think there'll be too many issues for the next little while, but we'll keep you posted if anything changes. So yeah, should be there. Me and more than likely it'll be Fuzz or someone else that's hanging around looking to jump in the booth for a night. And we will have at 8 p.m. on Thursdays weekly. That's Tier 2. This has been the Tier 2 mid-season review. And we're looking forward to the second half of the season. And we will see you again at the end of the season for the Tier 2 season review. We'll see how all my predictions pan out by the end. I should probably write them down because I'm going to forget them. But anyways, thanks for popping in for a little bit there, T-Money. Just giving your thoughts about your transfer. And looking forward to having you in Tier 1. I'm not looking forward to finishing behind you every week, though. I'm not going to lie.
I just I look forward to having some good battles. Sorry,
Yeah.
I was a little distracted.
That's okay. That's fine. I invited you in while you were gaming on a different game. That's totally totally understandable. But Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. We'll definitely have a few good battles, but obviously, like generally, you're going to be like you have better pace than I do, and yeah, I
I
don't know.
don't
Tier one,
know. I
it's
mean,
crazy.
on the power, it's OP. It's OP in tier two.
We'll see. We'll see. Uh, but yeah, I think it's just tough, man. It's tough for me to score points now. I used to be like easy top five, but now it's like fuck, man. I'm lucky if I'm even looking at 10th, you know. So I don't know. It's been a frustrating year for me as well. So I'm hoping I can improve in tier one. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the review, and we look forward to getting back to some meaningful racing on Sunday. That'll be the EU tier. And then next week we are in Bahrain for tier one and tier two, both at 8 p.m. Eastern. Monday night for tier one, Thursday night for tier two, and we'll see you then.